All right, guys, welcome back to week 13. We have a special guest with us, my sister Maggie, the manager of Snowball. But we have some important announcements to get to. One, me and Brad are really excited to be back this week because, our ratings did go down last week
They
because
actually went up.
the girls' edition, but we're glad to be back in the saddle.
Yeah, they get a little long-winded.
Yeah, it wasn't that good, but,
It was very entertaining.
we'll figure out what to do whenever me and Brad go on Thanksgiving break again. But anyways, we also have another announcement. So me and Brad have decided to come up with a Chick-fil-A giveaway challenge, and this is how it's going to work. So this week was episode 52. And so what would happen is if your player gets 52 points in a single game, and look, it could be 52.1, 52.9.
Hey, Jerry Judy
Just
got
52.
55.
We know we got 55. We'll get to that.
Wait, do I get my sandwich?
No, you have to get 52 exactly to get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. Now, look, I know some of you, your teams are terrible. That's just the way it is. That's okay. We have an option for you as well. If your entire team gets 52 points, you would have gotten a Chick-fil-A sandwich as well. Nobody won this week. That is totally fine. Next week, it'll be episode 53, and we'll do the same thing again till the end of the year. Snowball and Art of the Deal. Maggie, what'd you see this week?
I was not really nervous, don't really care much. But my season's really made off of if I beat you or not. Just perfect sibling rivalry.
It's a pretty common
Didn't
theme
matter.
in this league, though, is we got to beat Jake.
Yes, I know, but it's a little different.
Nobody likes me. I don't understand.
No, I love my brother, but we think way too much alike, and we're way too much alike. And so I just want to beat him. So he texted me earlier in the week. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. Blah 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 blah. blah. I was like, whatever.
Stole my tactic. I did that with her with CeeDee Lamb.
I felt
yeah,
it in
you
my
did.
heart. I just knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
So anyways, comes down to Monday night, and my phone starts going off. Jerry Judy, Jerry Judy, Jerry Judy. I call my husband, who is on a work trip, who's asleep, to wake him up and say, babe, I only need 9 more points to beat Jake. So he woke up and finished the game with me so that he could watch me beat you and enjoy me. I mean, Jerry Judy went off for 225 yards, which this was a revenge game. He now holds the record for the amount of yards against his former team. So, I mean, 55 points, bam. I
Look,
got to beat you. That's all that's all that matters to me right now.
I had 148. I had an okay week, but I really took a page out of Maggie's playbook. I left 105 points on my bench.
Let's
which
go
was
back to
great.
the okay week statement. You haven't been putting up many points the last few weeks. And
Yeah,
you've been
no,
nervous 'cause I've
you've been
getting a lot
really
of-
nervous.
I've been getting a lot of
Look.
texts from you panicking about,
No.
why is Kieran Williams not playing? Why is Kieran Williams not playing?
Look,
What's
we had
going
some
on with my
guys on
team?"
by.
Oh, hey, should I play so-and-so or this person? What do you think? What do you think?
I just like getting some input.
Cornelius Robinson graduates from college at age 14. This year's Nobel Prize goes to a young Cornelius Robinson.
Hey, Goop, what's up? Cool binder.
Hey, Goop, want to come over to my house today?
They all hated me.
All right, now into the first matchup, CMC 2025 against Louisiana Voodoo. And this one wasn't really too close. I didn't really have any worries throughout the whole thing. She had Bucky Irving go off for 37, but the biggest story for me was Mike Evans, acquired in a trade. Ended up catching a one-handed touchdown early on, had 30 points, kind of propelled me to this victory.
Yeah, that was a sweet touchdown, too.
Yeah.
It was Bucky Irving had a great game, but it just wasn't enough for Louisiana Voodoo.
October 11th, October 12th, and 13th, and 14th, I was intoxicated. I drank all of those days. I drank in excess.
On the morning of the accident.
I was drunk. I'm drunk now.
On to the next matchup. We have Woody's Roundup against the Dudes Abide. It was a tight one, 109 to 112. Big thing for Dudes Abide. Keenan Allen, 2 touchdowns. Caleb Williams was chucking the ball. I will say Woody's Roundup was very disappointed this week in Jalen Hurts. All he needed was 3 more points out of his quarterback, and he would have been all right. But the Dudes do abide this time around.
You are a professional idiot.
Hey, stop it!
Okay, everybody out.
Who?
Yeah, everybody, except Stanley.
Ooh, it's Michael versus Stanley, and it is the clash of the Titans. In one corner, you have Michael, and he is mad. And then in the other corner, you have Stanley, and he's mad. So that's about it.
All right, now on to the next matchup. Donald's Grand Team against the Little Giants. Look, I thought Little Giants had this wrapped up until McCaffrey went down with a PCL injury that's likely ending his season. Chloe, just a quick shout out to you. Thank you so much for not accepting any one of my trades. Actually, we should be thanking Brandon. Thank you. He's the one saying no behind the scenes, even though he said he's not.
That's true.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but thank you for saying no, because that would have really probably put me out of the playoffs, because I was offering a lot for Chris McCaffrey.
Even myself, with all the wins I had, I could have probably been out of the playoffs as well.
Yep.
You know, and what is it with all these big time players getting injuries, playing against Donald Grand Team? I mean, we were watching the game and he took off on his run and dropped, and I thought it was his ACL right away.
Yeah.
But you know,
But
that's a hard injury.
But Donald's running backs have not been getting hurt. Brad, what happened with Joe Mixon?
Yeah, Joe Mixon. I thought when Nico Collins came back, that was going to be it for Joe Mixon, but it wasn't. Joe Mixon continues to put up big numbers, and that is absolutely huge for Donald, who's got 3 really good running backs. All right, now on to the next matchup that came down to Sunday night. Lorelai Gilmore against, RBs, QBs, type, whatever it is. It came down to Juwan Jennings and the Buffalo defense. It was a snow game. It was cold. Buffalo defense helped Jordan win this matchup. Even though she won, Jordan is still out of playoff contention.
Yep.
Carolyn still has a lot to play for next week. It's all or nothing.
It's all or nothing.
Man, one got away.
Snowball.
All right, guys, now on to Monday Night Madness again, I guess. Take what you can against the Neighborhood. Look, the Neighborhood was down by 4 points going into Monday night. All she had left was Njoku. Now, look, 4 points is not that much, but it's a tight end. You're always scared. What's going to happen? Let me tell you something. Jameis Winston was chucking the ball, did not care. He even threw 2 pick sixes. Nobody really cared. It was a backyard football game.
Almost threw a third.
Njoku, 2 touchdowns, 26 points. Belows take what you can out of the water, 153 to 131.
And take what you can. The Neighborhood took all that she could.
I spoke to Uncle Dan today, and he invited us up to the cabin for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that might be nice. What do you think of that, Liz?
Shut up, witch!
Shut up! Be
They wouldn't talk like rap people if you didn't let them watch the MTV.
Paul, that's unfair.
Why do you let them watch the MTV?
Paul, don't start with me.
You don't start with me. You like it when they talk like rap people.
Pop, pop!
Okay, don't ever shoot a fake gun at me! Do you hear me? Don't pop, pop me!
All right, now on to the final matchup, and the matchup of the week. Chattahooligan, who's actually been playing some good football games recently, against Rule 1. I'm number 1. And this came down to the Denver defense against Cortland Sutton. But for Chattahooligan, the bigger story was Rico Dowdle.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb gets hurt. What do? They just hand it off to Rico Dowdle, has his first 100-yard rushing game of the year, ends up getting 26.3 fantasy points, and that's ultimately what propelled Logan to the victory here.
I got a Botox injection today.
Botox treatment.
Botox. They take a big needle and inject it into your forehead, and it freezes your face like this. I read it in a health magazine.
And how long are you going to be like this?
Well, this is temporary. And then, you got all your wrinkles are gone.
I can't talk to you. You're just consumed with yourself.
That's not true.
Look how far you've gone.
Amazing.
I mean, turning our lawn into an ice rink.
I can't feel anything.
I mean, somebody could have broken their leg or their neck. I mean, you could have put one of those carolers in the hospital.
And that would be a bad thing.
Luther!
Playoffs? The playoffs? You say we have a chance to go to the playoffs?
All right, now let's get on to the playoff picture. We are coming into our final week of the fantasy football season. That's hard to say. There have been 2 more teams that have clinched playoff spots, but there's also 2 teams that have been eliminated from playoff spots. Snowball, I'm sorry to say, you are out. The Dudes Abide have officially been eliminated from playoff contention, and Lorelai Gilmore has
Shoulda traded St. Brown.
Eliminated.
I told them. Whole year.
All right, now let's get into the top half of the bracket. So it's really down to 2 teams for that 8th spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there can be some fluctuation in the middle, But there's only 2 teams fighting to get in the playoffs, and that is, WR's, RB's, QB's, and the Neighborhood. Neighborhood plays Maggie this week. Carolyn plays against, I believe, the Dudes Abide.
I think it's the Dudes Abide.
So each have a tough matchup. Maggie's been putting up good points. Dudes,
Carolyn has an easier matchup, I think.
I kind of disagree. I think 5 through 7 is going to be really interesting. There's a lot to play for this week, and there might be a bit of a shake-up here, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching Week 13. Remember in Week 14 to watch your players. If they get 53 points, or if your entire team gets 53 points, you could get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich, so be watching out for that. But other than that, we have a very exciting week next week when we figure out our bracket. But for now, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.